BJP that there be a law across the nation around civil issues like marriage and divorce that would apply equally to people from across all religions. Now, the question of opposition unity, whether all opposition parties would be able to unite in a single stance around the UCC, that remains, as opposition leaders from the DMK and the NC party. So you have MK Stalin and Farooq Abdullah from two different states, Jammu and Kashmir and of course Tamil Nadu, who've both come in and slammed the introduction of the UCC. Farooq Abdullah is saying our nation is diverse. Muslims have their own Shariat law. They should be kept in mind. Stalin has said the Prime Minister is scared of the all-party meeting that just took place in Patna. He's trying to distract the opposition by bringing up the UCC. Now, I'm going to play out for you what these leaders had to say, then we'll connect with the reporter for more.
ये मुल्क डाइवर्स है, इसमें हर किस्म के लोग रहते हैं, हर मजहब रहता है, हर ज़बान के लोग रहते हैं, हर सोच के लोग रहते हैं और मुसलमानों का अपना शरीयत लॉ है, उसकी तरफ भी इनको नज़र रखनी चाहिए और इसके बजाय कि इसको आगे चलाएं, इस पे बार-बार सोचें कि कहीं कोई तूफान ना आए.
My colleague Purnima is with us right now to bring us more details. Purnima, we haven't shared the bite of what MK Stalin had to say yesterday, but the comment that he made was not just that the Prime Minister was using this as distraction, but he's also said that there first needs to be a common law for all Hindus, saying that until those who are from SC and ST groups and tribes can perform pujas in temples, you won't have a uniform law for Hindus yet. Purnima, can you tell us in more depth about what Stalin had to say first?
Well, once again, as we speak, Stalin is in fact making a speech at an event, and there again, the MK President has and Chief Minister MK Stalin has lashed out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his remarks on the Uniform Civil Code. In fact, in the speech that Chief Minister made a short while ago, he says that Prime Minister had made that statement only to disturb the law and order situation and to create a communal violence of sorts, and says that people are listening and they are going to teach the BJP a fitting lesson in 2024. That's the speech that's made by Chief Minister MK Stalin at an event just a short while ago, where he lashed out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi over his remarks that each member of a family cannot have its own law because then you cannot run the family smoothly, and therefore came out in support of the Uniform Civil Code. This hasn't gone down well with DMK, who's lashed out at the Prime Minister a short while ago.
Okay, Purnima, if we just stay with the issue of Tamil Nadu politics for a second, can you tell us how the AIDMK has taken a stance in this issue?
Well, in fact, if you look at the kind of statements that we've seen, both the DMK and its allies have time and again lashed out at the Uniform Civil Code and said that it will impact the Muslims of the country, and that the BJP is trying to in fact go against the minorities. And now the BJP, especially across the nation, say that this is something that the opposition parties are using to create confusion, and that BJP is always in support of the minorities, and the opposition parties are doing so to misguide the people and also to get the minorities vote bank.
Okay, Purnima, thank you. Let's go over now to my colleague Pallavi, who's with us live right now to bring us more context. Pallavi, this is a question we actually discussed earlier on the show too, whether opposition parties would be able to find common ground when it came to their stance on the UCC. We talked a little while earlier about what the Aam Aadmi Party's stance was. They said they weren't opposed to the idea, but the implementation was the real question. Now we've seen what NC leaders and what the DMK has to say. But Pallavi, the opposition is smart. I'm sure leaders knew that this question, whether or not they'd be able to find common ground, would be an important one. What is the longer-term plan when it comes to this?
The Congress party, which they've been telling us, is that they're going to wait for the final shape of the bill. We know that a law commission has to give its inputs because it itself has asked for inputs from various stakeholders. And once that bill is prepared, what are going to be the provisions are something on which they're going to give their reaction on. But the dilemma within the Congress party is on two folds. On one hand, they want to come across as looking progressive. Many within the Congress felt that their stand on triple talaq, the comments of some of them on triple talaq, made them look against women empowerment. Now, if you look at the Prime Minister's speech in Madhya Pradesh, he pitched a UCC as something which is also going to empower women. And we know the women voters are going to be a critical vote bank for the Lok Sabha elections in 2024 and also in the state elections which are coming up. So on this ground, the Congress doesn't want to be seen as opposing the UCC. But on the other hand, there's also an input which the Congress has got, is that there are certain Hindus also who may be opposed to some of the provisions of the Uniform Civil Code. For example, on the property rights for daughters and so on and so forth. That's as far as the conservative section is concerned. So this is a dilemma within the Congress, which is what they're planning to do, an internal survey, also speak to their party leaders, the ones who are likely to get affected politically by it, and therefore then take an official stand. As of now, what are they saying? They are saying that the government is only using UCC as a poll prop. They only want to divert attention from the core issues, not talk about price rise, unemployment, and all they want to do is only bring up UCC and all these issues so that people don't focus their attention on the real matters.
Pallavi, can you tell us, we know the issue of the UCC and the fact that the BJP considers it to be one of its 3 central planks. That is not at all new. Can you tell our audiences what is the inter-party discussion amid and among opposition parties in the past around this issue look like?
In that Patna meet, the UCC was not really discussed threadbare at all. I think this development has begun only after the Prime Minister's speech in Madhya Pradesh. But in the opposition ranks, we can already see a difference of opinion. For example, we know the Aam Aadmi Party has decided to support the UCC in principle, not having an objection to it. But the Congress, the TMC, for example, is against it. The Akali Dal has also made its position clear. JDU, RJD, so on and so forth. What really binds most of these parties opposing it is on the grounds that each one of them has the minority vote bank as their core vote bank, and that explains why the opposition is there to the UCC. But when I did speak to one of the opposition leaders, they told me that please don't think that the differences amongst each other is actually going to be a roadblock to the larger opposition unity for 2024. We are allowing that kind of a breathing space where we can have difference of opinions on certain issues, because we also have to cater to our individual vote banks. But on the larger issue of need to come together and take on the BJP, we are essentially one.